Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Homayoon TV. Today I will be exploring Dorico Pro's right mode, right panel, and specifically the clefs. If you are new to Dorico, make sure to watch the previous videos before this one. So when you open a project in Dorico and access the right tab, you will notice a bunch of different musical symbols in the right panel. And this is where you can add a lot of cool stuff to the engraving of your score. But as I said, today I will talk mostly about the clefs. But before that, let me tell you about the popover function in Dorico, which is a unique text-based command system that is quite handy and very time efficient. Let me make an example. If I highlight anything and anywhere in my score, so for example here, and I press Shift-C on my keyboard, a tiny popover box will open. And as you can see, in the left of the box, there is a clef icon. And this is Dorico's way of telling you that you are now using the popover that will allow you to add or modify any clefs in your score. So for example, if I type F and press Enter, a new F clef will be added to my score. Well, actually this one's modified, but I can also just put it here, Shift C, F, and it's added here. Super neat. By using this popover system, you can do almost anything in Dorico. But now that we know what popovers are, let's see what this switch is. If you click on it, it will alternate between the color palette mode or popover mode. The color palette will give you visuals over the different options that are available in each category. So for example, if I put it on the color panel and I click any of these guys here, it will open a subcategory of different notations that I can use. And it's just super easy to use. I can just select anywhere I want, highlight it by clicking, and then I click on whatever I want. You can also just press one. So I'm gonna, click one. I'm gonna click on this guy and you can see it's already hanging on my mouse cursor and grab it and put it there. But now if I switch to popover mode, you're gonna see that the extra panel will now close. And it will act as if you are invoking the popover with your keyboard. So for example, if I do the same, this is the clefs. If I do, if for example, I'm gonna, let's see, highlight this guy here, and I press this, it's gonna invoke the popover. And it will do the same with the other things. So if I press now this time signature popover, you see that popover turned into a time signature popover. So it's pretty handy. And the last thing about these switches is that if I alternate between them, you will notice that some of the tools, some of the notations are missing when I go into the panel mode, the color palette icon. See? It's missing. That is because the ones that you see below here are only available using the popover, and they're not available for the panel mode, and you cannot really select them. And they're only available in the popover because they don't have any extra panel. So for example, if I want to add a text, I just put it in the popover mode, and then I press this guy right here, and it will open the text box. So that's the reason that they're not really included in the panels. Before we continue the rest of this video, I wanted to kindly ask that if this video is useful to you, please share it with your friends, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials and videos about music. Okay, now let's talk about clef options in Dorico. I'm going to set this panel to the color palette mode. So the right panel, I'm going to just click on it. It's already there, so no worries. And the procedure is, as I already told you before, you just highlight where you want to add something, open it, and then voila. Very easy. But what if you have a situation where you want to hide the clef that is currently inserted in your score? For that, Dorico has implemented a neat way to modify the way you notate. And that is located in the lower panel, and you can open it by clicking on the arrow button located below. Once you open it, you will have access to details regarding to anything that is written in your score. So, for example, if I highlight, let's say, yeah, well, this one's already highlighted, you will see the details that are there for the clef. But then if I press this one, well, again, click on this guy, you will see the details are changing now. So it's different with any notation that you see and you highlight. But now we're talking about clefs, so let's go back to clefs. And I was telling you about a way to hide it. So let's say I want to hide this clef with the octave sign. It's super easy. I just come here and I just turn on hide. And Dorico also has this flags that will tell you that, okay, there's something happening here. And also it's a way that to change it later. So for example, if you're going to the score, this option is missing now. But then if you click on it here, you will see that the options are now available. So now let's see it again. There's another button here, which is called the octave shift, which lets you shift the octave that this clef has. So you can also customize this if you ever need it. And there is this other button here, which is called Show for Transposition. Remember the buttons that I told you in a few videos before? Down here, you can see the concert pitch or transpose pitch easily here. It will just swap it in your score. This option is quite similar. So it will let you swap between this. I'm going to go back now, and you can see that it just goes up and down. But I'm going to turn it off now. And back to the panel of the clefs, there are some more options here which probably you will never use unless you want to do some dark magic or engraving some really old music. You can just click on these drop-down menu buttons and it will open up. And finally, you have the octave lines, which is quite handy to use. You can either select a note and press on one of these, or you can select a row of notes by holding Shift, well, first highlighting and then press Shift, and then press it again. And if you want to put another one, you really don't have to delete it. You can just select it and change it. So it works really easy. And the octave lines also have their own panel for modification in the lower panel. So you have this box of octave lines, which are used mainly for modification. So if you want to change something, or for example, if you're writing for vocals, it doesn't fit, or you can, if there is anything you want to customize, you can always use it here. And just this is the stuff that I really suggest that if you mess around with, then you'll get the hang of it to see what it actually does. And this one is, of course, to hide it. And one last thing before I leave this section, I tell you, is that keep your eye on this octave lines and this lower panel. I'm going to switch to engrave mode. You're going to see that the octave lines now has a lot of more features. And I'm going to cover these later, but just for you to know, Dorico divided, I mean, the way Dorico works is that there's a division between writing and modifying and engraving in your score. And actually it's pretty neat because it also helps you to think in a way that you're composing, and then you want to make the score look good. And to wrap up this video, I'm going to tell you some of the most used commands that you can enter in your popover box. You already know Shift C, and the C stands for clef, and the rest of the popovers are the same, so it's just the beginning of each word that you want to invoke. So it's quite easy to remember what popover is for what, but for now we're just talking about the clefs. Let's see, if I put, I'm going to just delete these guys. Okay, so if I invoke the popover, Shift C, F is for F clef, G is for G clef, and you can write alto for an alto clef. And the same goes with inserting octave lines. It's in the category of the clefs, so Shift C to invoke, and you can write 8VA to get an octave up. And also, oh yeah, this is also a good thing that I remembered now, is that if you are on either of these notations that you already put with the popover, you can just highlight it and press enter, and it will open up the popover. And now I'm going to just change it. I'm going to put 8BA. It will come below, and same as goes with the 2 octaves and the 3 octaves, which is the 22. And you can also use loco to cancel any octave symbol that you had before. However, this is not really necessary, as not having the symbol is usually enough for the musicians to know what to do and what to play. But just for you to know, if I do Shift C, loco, it will write loco here. There you have it, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. If you have any further questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. See you in the next video. Homayoon out.